Okay, so now that we have this nice little helper function that puts our chat message here on the page, so our helper function is right here, user message heeks, we want to actually pass information into that and replace this placeholder text and the username. So in order to do that, we already have in our previous step subscribed to the new messages that get broadcast across the pub sub. And so we can see that again if we come in here and we start typing hello world, we can see the change events that are happening here. You can see event message change, but we also have the submit message. So if I hit submit, it says submit message hello world, and additionally it captures the message data hello world. So the difference is that submit message, only the current user that submitted the message that event is taking place for, but the second one, message data, that comes from our handle info, which is subscribed to the topic that we are subscribed to when the page loads. This one, the handle info, all users that are subscribed to the topic are going to be seeing the message data. And so we have the message data already displaying here. The only thing we haven't done is we haven't assigned it to a socket. And so let's go ahead and let's assign this message data to the socket using the assign function. And we'll attach message data to our socket. And if we do that, we are going to have one message data. Now, what we really need though is we need to store like all of the message data that always gets broadcast across the network. And one of the nice things about our server here is that it is an IEX REPL, so we can test code here. So I can demonstrate that I can use Elixir code such as test, and I'll set up a list, and then our list, if I had something like a message that was hello, every time, I forgot the equal sign, every time that I do a test ++ and I set this up to be we put our message, we want to append it to the list, then what we can do is we can keep appending messages to our list, and we just need to reassign that here. So there we go. So now we'll just keep reassigning them. So we're going to append the messages that are happening, the chat messages that are happening. So that's the nice thing about IEX. You can test out things in your REPL while you're coding and working in Phoenix. So that makes it really convenient to test out your Elixir code. And as you're working, you can also take advantage of the REPL to help you, assist you with the coding. So this is the kind of thing we are trying to do. But we can do this inside. We're going to use our message data, and we are going to append our message data to, I guess we need to also mount something that's going to track our our chat messages. So in our mount, let's go ahead and set up a list of chat messages. So chat messages, and we will set that to be a list. And then what we will do, coming back here in our code, so it's going to be message data equals, it's going to be our socket dot assigns dot chat messages, and we are going to update that basically to be the socket assigns chat messages, and we're going to append the message data to those messages. So we can take this and we're going to put it inside of here. So we're going to we just need this syntax here, and because this assign socket will handle taking this and remapping it to the message data. So that should work. And then instead of, we don't want to assign it to message data. We want to assign it to chat messages here. So we'll assign that to chat messages. And now instead of logging out this, well, we can log out the message data, but let's also log out an instance of chat messages so we can see that we are appending our chat messages as we are doing our code. And then there is a bug somewhere it is complaining about. So it says unexpected token, and we have this left bracket. So this says it's at line 32. We forgot our close-in parenthesis here on line 32. So just make sure that your assign function is indeed wrapping everything because I had a minor typo there as I was working through the code. But we are good now. It looks good. It says that the variable chat message does not exist and is being expanded to chat messages. Something is going on there. Please use parentheses to remove the ambiguity or change the variable name. Let's see. Line 30. Yeah, so chat messages doesn't exist. We need to read this off the socket. So let's go ahead and console log out from the socket. Copy and paste. You are my friend. There we go. All right, so we just want to see here what our chat messages look like in the code. So test, hit enter, chat messages is empty, test 2. Okay, so we're seeing the chat messages after they get appended once. So we're printing it out and then we're assigning it, and then we're like so nothing was there, and then it added one, and then it displayed us one, and then it added the second one. So our code is executing after we add data to it, but you can see that it is adding information to the chat messages. So now we are logging on those chat messages. Let's go ahead and output these chat messages here on the page so that we can actually have real chat messages. So let's go over to our topic live code, and let's set up a nice little for loop right where we have our helper function. So we are going to, this is the fun part. This is where our chat message is going to come together. So all we're going to do is use embedded Elixir. So I'll go ahead and use the embedded Elixir syntax. And we are going to do a for loop, and for the message data that we have inside of our chat messages, we are going to do, and then we're going to wrap our helper function inside of just a very simple end. We'll just make this end. And let's go ahead. We can demonstrate this. It's not going to display the messages yet, but we can just demonstrate it. We can just test if it's working. So we can do test, test, test. All right, cool. And let's fix this because we want to actually display the messages. So we're just going to pass our messages inside of here. So this will be our message, and we'll set it equal to the message data. So we'll enter our brackets here, and we'll put our message data variable right inside of there. That will put our message into our helper function. And so if we come over to our helper function, we can now pull it out of the assigns data and put it right here to where we have this placeholder text. So let's replace this with our Elixir embedded code. And we'll set it to @message, and then we'll close this. And so message again is coming from this variable. So we named it to message, MSG, and we set that to be the message underscore data variable that we're looping through. We're just looping through our chat message list. So we're looping through there, and the @ symbol again is shorthand for doing the assigns dot message. So we can just do the @ symbol. And now that we've done that, we should finally be able to see some chat messages. So I can do test, hit enter. Beautiful, beautiful. And now we can type multiple messages. And we still want to do a couple of things here, but this is exciting. So let's go ahead and let's take this topic that we're in. So so I can say hello, and now I can come in here on another window. So I've opened up another window, and I'll just put it over here. And you can see that I have 2 users now. So I have Radiant Kilt, and I also have Fake Hotel. So they're different users. So over here I can type test, and over here you'll see that message appears. And over here I can say hello, and you'll see that message appears over here in real time. And so the users will see anything as long as they're in the room. If I refresh it, it's going to regenerate a new user. And that information from the previous chat is not stored on this user's socket, right? Because we put all the message data onto a socket. So only the users that are actively in the room are going to see the messages. There's no there's no message history stored here because we don't have a database or anything like that. But that's okay. We'll obviously expand on that in future topics and in future lessons where we have information that persists. But for here, we're just showing how we can do pub sub in real time with messages. And yeah, so you can see I can type anything over here. The messages display over here, and I can type back, "That's so cool." And this user will see, "That's so cool." And we can expand on this. So it still doesn't feel like a chat 100% just because the usernames are not displaying. We have a generic username. We need to make it feel a little bit more like a chat. So let's go ahead and let's just build the rest of this out in the next example. But we have the basic components here for building out our chat. And let's go ahead and continue the discussion. We'll put the usernames in here next, and then we will we'll display which users are online after that. And then we'll make this feel more like a two-way communication. Instead of these being linear down the row here, we'll just spice it up by having our messages to the right and the other person's messages to the left. And then I'll show some examples of, we'll have like 3 or 4 people in the same chat room all sending messages. And this is going to come together really quickly now. But there's still very cool pieces, such as being able to show which presence the users are online. So definitely make sure you stick around to the end because that's going to be a cool thing to see how Phoenix handles that. All right, I'll see you over in the next lesson, and we will tidy this up a bit here with the usernames.